Welcome to the Infinite Podcast. My name is Melissa Ruiz Vasquez, and I'm here with my husband, Carlos Andres Ruiz. How are you today?
I am doing well, but I'm cold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's cold in here.
It's cold in this pod. But what's today? Friday?
Today is Friday.
Today is Friday. I feel peace today. Today I was asking the people that come to our Bible study what fruit has shown up the most this week. And peace actually was one that a lot of them answered, which was interesting. But today I feel peace. This week I have been not feeling as much peace. But I think I'm gonna share about my story today. And I was asked to talk and share some faith and sports overlaps. And so I think the preparation or thinking of that made me a little bit overthink the thing. But today, for some reason, when I was journaling, like peace just went inside of me. So I'm feeling peaceful. How about you?
Good. That's amazing. I'm doing well.
Yeah.
I'm good. What is today? Today is, I think every week that goes by, I just think about how much closer I am to seeing my family again.
Wow.
So I'm very excited about that. So, and I'm excited for you.
What does that
meet
mean?
them.
I don't think you said the whole, like, by the way, I'm going to be eating in this podcast.
It is not Halloween.
Not Halloween, but when I'm cold, I eat chocolate. When I'm a lot of things, I eat chocolate.
My parents always said that chocolate caliente, and I was like,
I think they were saying chocolate caliente, and they just...
They're like, this works too. just eat chocolate. Hey, it works. If you just...
You're going to see your family?
Anyways, yes, I'm going to see my family.
In Rhode Island?
Nos vamos pa Colombia.
Woo!
Add the little like music in the background. Put a little hat on. We have a picture of you with a sombrero on. We'll put that there. No, I'm just kidding. No, we won't.
You're going to see your family in Colombia?
Yes.
I'm going to see your family in Colombia.
You're going to see my family. Now your family.
How do you think they're going to react to me?
They're going to be excited. They're going to be, you know, how every classic, I already know, you know.
Walk me through it so I know it beforehand.
Okay.
Because we're watching film right now.
They're all going to be excited. Some of them are going to be a little shy.
Okay.
Most of them won't be. But, you know, all the women are going to be like, wow. And I'm like, I know, guys. I know.
Got it.
I know.
Next topic.
No, you knew that was coming, though. You know good and well. You've had your experience with families.
Until they realize that I'm not as Colombian as they they would like me to be. Anyways,
they're gonna be excited. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we get to spend as much time as we can, because we're going for shorter than I'm used to, at least. Yeah. But I know that it's gonna be great just to see them.
I'm excited too to meet the family.
Good. There's a lot of them.
There is a lot of them.
I can't imagine how that must feel for you. Because, like, at least for me, I've been able to meet your family incrementally. Like, the people that are here, I've only really met, like, one at a time. It wasn't like I just showed up to, like, one big family party and met all of them at once. And this is kind of going to be like that for you. Because my family all live very close to each other. So it's very easy for them to just wander over to my grandpa's house and be like, all right, we're going to greet Andres, or Melissa and her husband, that we'd never met. So in person, at least. Oh, you've met my tia Mariela, though. Yeah. So there's a few of them that you met. I think that's it. Oh, y Luisa.
Yeah. But no, I'll be good. I just need to make sure my emotional intelligence, my relational intelligence, and my character are top of the line. So I'll probably just be listening to some of our episodes on the plane.
The shameless plug.
Yeah, there you go. What are we going to talk about today?
I don't know. You want to do the icebreaker first?
All right, let's do the icebreaker first.
I've read the last one, so you can read this one.
Would love to.
I'll give you the honor.
One. Oh, this is long.
Oh.
Okay. What makes you feel better when you're sick? Or how do you like to be taken care of when you're not feeling well? You can only answer one.
I can only answer one.
Yeah.
Okay. I suppose I guess they would be pretty equal. I mean, if I'm like sick, like the last time that I've felt like really sick was probably one of the first few times that I got COVID. I've gotten COVID so many times, guys. I'm here. I'm still here. I can speak on it.
Not me.
But one of the first few times, so like in like 2020, 21. Just please, yeah, ideally it would be you in this situation. We live together. If you can
so
just,
the person matters.
yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I mean, if my mom needs to be the one to take care of me, hey, she's done it my whole life. She can do it again. My dad too. But anyways, just make sure that I have the right medicine that I need, that I'm aware of when I should be taking things, and make sure that I just can like fuel myself, stay hydrated. I'm sure that it's not, fortunately, it's never been to the point where it's like I'm bedridden and I cannot get up. Like, yes, I can do some things for myself. So like, it's not like you have to do everything for me, but if you can just, be more mindful and hang out with me for a little bit if you want. If not, I'm okay. Also, just
Are you talking
there.
to me right now?
Yeah. Who else? The audience. If you want to come take care of me, I'll let y'all know when I'm sick. I'll send you the address. So yeah, just get me my meds, food, water, Gatorade if necessary.
What's your favorite Gatorade?
Great question. Red. Gatorade. Powerade blue.
Really?
I also like yellow Gatorade. Yellow feels a little less intense. Like if I'm like really
red
sick.
Red is so you though.
Yeah, red is so me. Like get the like a little
and sweet as
like a little kid. Yeah.
It's like
put it over
in your
some
brain
ice.
Is fruit punch.
Oh, what?
In your brain is fruit punch.
Basically.
Yeah.
Isn't that the flavor of it?
Is it? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
That's okay.
Anyways, it's just red.
That's funny.
What about you? How do you like to be taken care of?
When I'm sick. I'm gonna go with what makes you feel better when you're sick.
Okay. I don't think my reading comprehension got there. Figured that second one was different. They felt the same.
Okay, that's fair. It's weird because we were at the beach in Florida, somewhere in Florida, and I was listening to the Bible. I think you had knocked out.
On the beach?
Yeah.
Yeah, classic.
On the sand. I guess that's the beach too. But something about the story that I was listening to made me feel like I'm gonna live till I'm 120. And ever since that day, I believed it. Like, will it happen, will it not happen? I don't know. I believed it, and I think I am. And so whenever I get sick, that reminder that
I'm good.
You're good to 120, so like it's just so temporary, and then I feel better. I don't get sick often.
No.
But this idea that like, I don't know, that sickness can stop you, or you're dying, or whatever it may be. I don't know why. If somebody reminds me that somebody's got to say 120.
Okay.
It's like a safe word.
I'm gonna just say that.
Like
when your knee's hurting, I'm like 120.
120.
Yeah,
120.
good.
And I think that helps me. It feels good if you're taken care of. I love soup, like a nice soup.
Yeah, that
I'll fake
hits.
a sickness for a soup.
That
For a good sancocho. And you're like, yeah, 120. Ain't nobody making that sancocho.
That's a process.
And then whenever I start to feel a little sick, something that I have seen makes me feel better is to work out. I just go on like a crazy run and read, listen to talks people that I enjoy. I think what I think helps me is to engage. And I think the majority of the reasons why we get sick is because we are consumed by expectations, whether it's like bills or work or something's going wrong with the relationship, and then your internal system starts to get fatigue, and then eventually your external system experiences the fatigue through sickness, and so I just dive immediately into the internal stuff, that do something that helps you stop thinking about the things that are stressing you out. And so far it's worked. I can't remember the last time that I got sick really bad.
I used to get sick more often. And I do think that we don't a lot of times I feel like we are so distracted by all the things that we do that we don't realize that, like, I've been sleeping terribly, I've been eating terribly, I've been stressed by something, or I'm constantly worried about something, and like that will get you sick. Like that brings your immune system down, and you will get sick.
Your body is crazy. This is just what I may think, but I think your body tells you, like, you keep complaining about whatever it is that you're doing. So I'm gonna get sick, because the first thing you do when you get sick is you stop doing the things. The first thing you do when you're not feeling well, or like you're really, really sick, you call out. And calling out is just disconnecting from the expectations that you have out there. And so I think the more you create a lifestyle that is not something you're not looking forward to do, your body's not gonna, it's not gonna get sick. And so your body's actually telling you, it's actually proof of what you already are feeling inside. So it's trying to keep you from continuing to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have the tendency to like blame so many other things. Like somebody was telling me that they get sick often, and then they were telling me like, oh, because the cold. And then, which is such like a typical thing, maybe for Hispanics, maybe not for Hispanics only, but like we're like, oh, like you got to cover up good, if not the cold, like you're gonna get sick, which I found that isn't necessarily true.
Like, what, is everybody in Antarctica sick?
Yep, exactly, exactly. There's so many reasons for it. But then also I learned later that they were like constantly drinking like Monsters and like stuff like that. I'm like, that is so bad for you. I was like, no wonder you're sick all the time. And I think, I might have to cut this out, because then if they know who I'm talking about, they're gonna feel bad. And they know I love them. But like,
but yeah, and I think there is also to that it's not the cold that gets you sick, but the cold may increase the way your body can interact with the cold if your system hasn't been taken care of well. So it's not the cold that does the whole thing, but the cold just is the last little thing on top. But if it was the cold, people wouldn't be able to live in some of the coldest parts of the world, or like my parents will tell me like, don't go into the fridge when you're warm, acalorado, and then I'm like, when I get to college, they make me go into an ice bath as soon as I finish. And so, yeah, I don't know enough about our biology, but I do know that this works and it makes sense for how healthy I am. Speaking of sick, I don't know if sick is the way that I want to.
Yeah, really, wait.
I don't know if sick is the way that I want to describe it, but in our last episode, we talked about what I do and how to articulate my job or my role or my title, and we landed at spiritual environmentalist. And if there was like a subtitle for that, it was like, I help humans depollute their soul. We talked a little bit about how there was a principle that we identified in a story of mine, the inability to believe in the authority that has been placed inside of you to help you be able to step into the world with almost this unstoppable belief in yourself, in God, and people around you. And we dropped that in the last episode, but we didn't really talk about how can you develop your authority. And I was thinking that maybe it would be cool if we talked a little bit about developing our authority. I think that when I hear the word authority, I hear like a lot of confidence, and I hear commanding. And so what I want to ask you.
No, I was gonna say I should have brought my notebook because it doesn't sound like I can really give much information on this today. I'm gonna be sitting here listening like everybody else. Cause oh no,
Yeah,
what was your question for me?
My question is, how have you felt that your ability to command has changed, or your ability to have authority has changed in the last few years? It could be since we got married, which that's only a year. It could be since we started our relationship.
Only a year.
But how has your authority changed, and do you feel that your authority has changed?
So I would think that my authority has improved, and I think to your point, it has a lot to do with confidence. For the context of our relationship, like we learned, and like jokingly, like I guess if we're not talking frequencies, just for like everyone who's listening, I think if you're more assertive versus more
Passive?
passive,
Yeah.
I think I definitely have always swayed more towards the passive side. I've never really thought of myself as very assertive, especially growing up. I always saw myself as like very like, I will let you step all over me. Like I will not say no very often. Like I will mistake in a lot of people taking advantage as like maybe not about me, or like maybe giving people a little too much benefit of the doubt. And always kind of thinking more so of like, there's got to be someone who has more knowledge on this than I can, so maybe I shouldn't be the commanding voice in the room. But I think in the context of our relationship, I think jokingly I've been more assertive just because now I'm a wife. So like now having that title, I think alone gives you like you saw, at least for myself growing up, like my mom was always like my dad's wife. Like, okay, maybe that's not true. Maybe not always, but growing up, like I saw her as an authoritative like figure in my life, and she was very commanding. Like she ran the house, and like, or at least my brother and myself, like she told us exactly what to do all the time. And so I always thought like, man, all moms and all wives must be like that. Like, so now being like a wife, I'm like, I'm not necessarily always commanding, especially commanding you to do things. But I think in going from girlfriend to wife or fiance to wife, that title only gives you more authority because it gives you more confidence in your position. Because at least in our relationship, like divorce really isn't like on the table. And I mean, I never think about it, fortunately, but like if it came down to it, it's like, let's figure this out, as opposed to there's a very easy way to get out of this, and that's called divorce. So in knowing that, it's like anything I say isn't going to be the end all be all of this relationship. So the fear of losing the relationship is pretty much out the window. While if I was your girlfriend only, I'd be like, he could dump me anytime with no repercussions. Like it would be fine. And so if I impose myself on you in a way that maybe you don't like, then there's the fear of, oh crap, that was the make it or break it moment. So in that context, I think my authority has increased in that sense.
So the confidence in the longevity of the relationship, or the confidence in the assurance or certainty that we will not separate, activates authority.
I think so, yeah. Like the confidence in not losing your position, your role, your status, I guess. And I guess outside of that context, just having, I guess I think about like as a professional, having more experience under your belt just increases your confidence a lot more. Like the more I practice, the more I just did more evaluations, did more rehab with people, had more human interactions, like the more authority I felt like I had to tell somebody what to do. Because that was always really my problem in school, was very much like, Melissa, tell them exactly what you think and why you think they should do that. Like, you have the right answers, you just don't believe it like enough, and you don't, like, I never really had that authority or that assertiveness, which I always wanted and tried to practice, but like that always for me came with more time. Some people just have it more naturally. They just are like, I know what you should do and you should do this. That comes more natural, but that was never natural for me, so I really had to work on it.
Do you think it's natural for me?
Yes.
Why?
I think it is a little more kind of like God made you that way. But I also think it is your upbringing and like how you've interacted growing up, like maybe your home setting, maybe your friendships, maybe like anything, just kind of what molded you growing up. I think that it's tied into, for me, maybe I'm creating a little more parallel to like decisiveness. Like, because if you're decisive on something, like you're gonna have way more authority, or feel you have more authority to say what should be done. Yeah. And I think I've always been opinionated, but maybe like I said, my mom was very assertive, and so if my brother or myself was feeling like indecisive about something, not trying to couldn't figure out which decision to make, my mom could kind of just make it for us. And then that was like, oh, okay, cool. That now I haven't had to make that decision for myself. Like, and I trust my mom's gonna make the right decision because that's mom. Like, of course she's gonna make the right decision. But I think it would have been helpful for my development if I made more decisions for myself and learned how to mess up, because a lot of it is just the fear of messing up. It always comes back to you're scared to make the wrong decision, and then if you're being authoritative over other people, then now I've led multiple people to the wrong decision, and that's scary. I don't know if that answered your question.
No, it does. I'm just processing. So I'm trying to, I hadn't fully unpacked the fact that you're making decisions for others. And you, a wrong decision, the older you are or the more others that you have around you, trickles down and affects more people.
But that's, I was always, like just now I was just talking in the context of having authority over other people, but really what you're talking about is creating authority over your own life. And I think in that aspect, yes, I've gotten better. I think it has a lot to do with my relationship with God. If you know who you are when it comes to God, like, then you're not afraid of making the wrong decision. You're not afraid of the outcome, because you know you always have like something to fall back on. And like, not even just, I think even like maybe a year or two ago, like my identity, I'm like, who am I? Like, really? And then you start, like we said last time, is you start talking about all the things that you do, not necessarily who you are. And I think understanding, having more clear identity helps you build your authority. Like 100%.
Yeah, that's good. I heard a lot of amazing stuff in there that I feel gives us principles and awareness of how can you develop your authority. And what I hear you in the examples that you give is that there's a connection between your position not changing and your authority and your performance. Yeah. And if you have a good performance or a bad performance, but your position at the end of that performance is not affected, then you step more boldly into that performance. And so I don't even know if it's necessarily you're going to make a decision and it's going to affect the both of us. And I don't know if it fully is the fact that how much it's going to affect us that will fluctuate the boldness as much as like, oh, I know he's going to be my husband, whether it affects us really good or really bad. And so it's the fact that your position as a wife doesn't change that will allow you to be more almost reckless and more bold and care less about the result. And same thing when it comes to family. And so I imagine that as a parent, they're going to be your kids infinitely, you know, and so you're going to make decisions, and at the end of the day, like, you might get some right, you might get some wrong, but they're still going to be your kids. And so I do think that there's something about, and for lack of other words, infinite, when you make a list of your relationships, the relationships that are more infinite in your life are probably the relationships that are going to allow you to be more bold and step into with more authority, because you're not afraid to lose them. I do think that the moment that we lack authority is because it's actually revealing that you lack confidence in the relationship. And so it's not a problem of authority, it's a problem of relationship. And sometimes we end up blaming ourselves, like, oh, I don't have the boldness, I'm afraid. Like, no, it's not that. It's that you're not confident if that guy's gonna dump you or not, if you make this decision. And there's this principle that, for me, outweighs all when it comes to how to become more authoritative. And authoritative sounds like such a intimidating word. And that's why every time that I talk about authority, I go back to, it starts with the word author. And it just is to have the boldness to write the story. Like, we have to have the authority to write the most beautiful story marriage has seen. Whether we believe, well, people believe it or not, we get the pen and paper to write that story. And so if we see it from that point of view, that the more authoritative you are, the more autonomy you have over your story, then you're going to be able to be okay with writing a messy story, but that messy story is not going to get, the beauty of it doesn't get affected, because it was purely who you were, the decisions you wanted to make, and you knew that your position, my position with you wasn't going to change. And what more beautiful of a story would it be if I make the wrong decision and you still embrace me, and the same way the other way around. And so I do want to pick at a verse that I feel that,
Oh snap.
Say that again?
I said, oh snap.
A verse that I feel that really speaks to this, because I think that when we're able to understand how to improve our authority, we become unstoppable, not on an individual level, but on a human level. And when I was in high school, maybe Steven will remember this. Steven, did you ever do JROTC? Yeah?
Everyone has,
Everybody,
huh?
because it was an easy A. You like it? Me too, me too. And so when I was in JROTC, I don't even know how to explain what JROTC is, because I end up saying, like, it's like the Army, but I don't want to, like, it can't be like the Army. Like, the Army has to be so much harder. But it's probably like a recruiting, what is it, Steven? It's the bare minimum of what? Okay, JROTC, thank you, Steven. JROTC is the, I can't wait to have
He
it
actually
next
paid
week.
attention in class.
Yeah.
And this just showed up.
It was fun. Yeah, it was. Did you have Sergeant Velez?
No, I had another one.
Oh, okay, I forget his name. But, okay, so JROTC is the bare minimum expression of the Army? Yes, okay, perfect. And so we had to...
Steven's got to be here all the time.
Steven's got to be here all the
He's
time.
like our chat right now.
Yeah, Steven GPT. And so we had to wear uniforms, and I took that class because it was an easy A, and athletes do that. But Steven took it because he liked it. He's a better human than I am.
He was intentional.
But once you're in it, you actually have fun. And so you would get name tags where you put your last name, and on the days that you had to wear your uniform to school, you would put the name tag on. And so I don't even remember who did the name tags, but I became friends with the person that made the name tags, and I was like, yo, can you make me a name tag? And I wanted to put a name tag on my backpack, and the name tag was a verse that in that season of my life, which I would say that verse, my entire high school, that was the verse that was always so centered to me. And so the verse was Joshua 1:9, and I'm gonna read it for us.
Please, I'm learning.
You're
I
learning?
didn't know this.
You didn't
I
know
didn't
this?
know you did this.
And so the verse says, this is my command, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. And
Amen.
so why are you laughing?
No, I said amen.
Amen. And so this was the verse that I put on my backpack.
Why are you laughing?
Why are you laughing at God? And the words, when I see the word strong and courageous, it's almost like the expression of what I feel authority is. Like when you have full authority, you are strong everywhere you step in. You are courageous. You don't let fear take over you, and you don't get discouraged. And what I and what I like about the verse is that it tells you why you can do those things. And the reason why is not because of anything that Joshua did. It's simply said, because the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. There's nothing more powerful than the word with in this verse. And the best way that I can explain it to an athlete perhaps would be,
Pretend I'm an athlete.
please pretend you're an athlete.
Yeah.
What if you're going to a tryout and you knew that you had, for the last year, every single day, trained with Messi. And you knew that everybody at the tryout had not spent as much time with Messi than you did, you know? Would that not give you more courage? Would that not make you less afraid when you step on the field? Would that not give you the ability to fight moments of discouragement? And so the with has this incredible ability to give birth to authority, but it's who that with is. And to the point that if you're playing in that game and you end up losing the game, it almost even removes the outcome, because tomorrow you're going to train with Messi again. And so tomorrow,
Like if you didn't make the team.
and if you
you're
didn't
like,
make a
"It's fine."
team, I'm go train with Messi again.
Yep.
And I'm gonna go to whatever next tryout, next game, next whatever. And so there's this beautiful thing that happens when you spend time not with Messi but with God. And I can't fully explain it, but I know that I've experienced it to a level that is probably the reason why you can so quickly say, yeah, you have authority. And I wonder if somebody tells you that, if you're a soccer player and they say Messi is going to do sessions after school every day in your off season, I wonder how many people would miss a session, you know? And even if you spent 10 minutes with Messi every single day out of 365 days, at the end of those 365 days, you will know soccer or something about soccer in a way that you will have an advantage versus anybody else who did not spend that time with Messi. And so the reason I say all that is because Messi is the greatest of all time in soccer. God is the greatest of all time. Whether you believe in Jesus or not, he did fracture, he did make a dent in human history.
Yeah.
He is seen as the greatest of all time. And if you spend 10 minutes every day, in fact, if you spend 1 minute every day, in 365 days, you're gonna master the game of life. There's no way that you don't improve, but that does take your desire to want to spend time with him. Now, why do we not like to spend time with God becomes probably the next question. And that might just be because you have convinced yourself that Messi is greater than God, that Michael Jordan is greater than God, that fashion is greater than God, than the people you listen to music. Anybody that you spend time with often in your week, and it could just be the music you hear, the video games you play, the shows you watch, you're convinced, you're giving that show the worth, the ability to be the God that informs you. And then the evidence of them being God or not, it's not your time with them, it's how much discourage and fear steps inside of you when you go in moments of being under pressure.
Yeah.
And so if you're somebody that struggles with fear or performing in a high pressure environment, I would argue that you probably are spending too much time with the wrong God. You know, you're probably, as much as you work on your ability, under pressure you're gonna crack, because it's the authority that's gonna cover your ability. And so last episode we talked about authority being that which will take you to the next level, but developing your authority, it's just as important. And if you can't tap into this withness and with God, you're going to continue to look for your authority in so many different places that you will come short of being able to be strong and courageous in any space. And the reason it works with God is because when you make that list of friends, that is the only entity that you will never lose your relationship with. And that's when you become an unstoppable expression of humanity, when you start to spend time with God. But it doesn't only work with God, because any principle that works with God works with humans. And that's why you can probably be so much more bold after marriage or after a relationship. Yes, obviously I am blessed that it's me, but it's the moment that you have felt that somebody's willing to be with you your entire life, that it activates authority. And so this witness doesn't just work with God, it works with God because it's a divine principle that he implemented into the universe. But this principle, so when I go coach with Steven, like, he could do a horrible session, but he knows that that's not going to affect
He's like, that never happens.
That's not going to affect our relationship. And so in fact, he's more free to go and do whatever he thinks the moment asks for. And now if I'm not there, like, he knows that I trust him to run a session. But that's why the witness of spending time with him, whether it is playing pickup, eating slushes, coaching, doing podcasts, you know, that's what's going to give him the authority to step here next week and sit and have a conversation and not be afraid. And so it's a principle that surpasses the craft itself, and that's how you develop your authority.
Cool. I was going to ask, like, in your experience, your authority, why did I say it like that? Your authority comes from having that relationship with God. Do you feel like you've always just had it, like, innately? Or do you see it, like, increase or improve because you're one person who I know, like, spends a lot of time, like, with God, or is intentional with your time with God? And so I guess my question is, like, have you felt like you've always had it? Just for, I guess, people who are listening, that are like, okay, why should I listen to you? Like, where's your authority at?
Mm-hmm.
So, care to explain?
Have I always had the authority?
Yeah.
We all have the authority inside. It's more of, have you developed it?
I guess in
And-
my sense, like we were saying, like for some people it comes a little more naturally. Like, do you feel like it's always come naturally for yourself, or what were you gonna say?
No, I don't. I don't know how natural it comes, but I do know that when you understand it and you try it, it becomes more natural. It's like anything else. It's like if I create a habit of working out at a certain time every day, it's gonna feel to people that are like, oh, he's such a natural at waking up early. Like, no, I wake up and I don't want to get up. And there's mornings where like, oh, an extra 10 minutes. But when you create the habit, it seems more natural. And there's days that I'm like, I don't want to talk to God. I don't want to journal. But because I've created a habit and it's turned into a lifestyle, it seems natural. And so I would say that I wouldn't even say my authority is natural. It feels natural at my age, and because you are able to see it more than anybody, it feels like it's something that comes so natural. But when I go back to my stories of college, and there was a moment in which my high school coach had gotten me a full ride to a university. And that was one of the hardest moments because I had heard from the college that I wanted to go to that it was impossible. And so when my coach became aware of this, he doubled down on trying to help me. And he found this place where they were gonna give me 4 years for free. And the amount of money was like, I don't know, like close to 200,000, because it was room and board, it was tuition, it was food, it was books, it was all of that. And I remember when I walked into his classroom, and we had to call the coach and tell him that, in order for that to happen, I needed to do early commitment.
Enrollment.
I had to commit early,
Yeah.
something like that. And partially it was my fault for not having authority earlier and letting him go through all that. But now I was stuck in a place where like, I'm not gonna take this offer because I'm gonna believe and do everything possible for, even if the coach from BU has told me it's not gonna happen, I'm gonna make it happen because God is greater than all of this. And again, like, this sounds like, if I heard me saying that right now, I'm like, bro, you should take it. You should consider taking it. And so often, I run into a situation, I'm like, God, I need you to give me another target like I had in that age. And it doesn't matter what it is. Because I don't know that BU was a dream, or BU was an obsession, or BU was the place where God needed me to be. I just knew that I wanted it so bad.
Yeah.
And so sometimes, like, I need something of that passion to implement the principles. But anyways, back to that morning, the coach was like, okay, I'm about to call this guy. And I'm like, wait, hold up. I get nervous because I remember how like tense I was. And I was like, coach, I have to tell you something. Thank you so much.
You've been great.
Yes. And I actually don't feel good about this, because your name is like, now, that's what that guy's given this scholarship on. Yes, he probably has seen me play, or you have talked to him, but it's like, you're the connection. But I'm not gonna do it. And I remember that he was so kind, and he was like, okay, like, that's okay, like, I just don't understand. like
Nothing's mathing right now.
Why wouldn't
Nothing
you?
makes sense.
Why wouldn't you? And I said, I don't have an answer. I believe so deeply in this, and I can say that BU is gonna work out, and maybe it doesn't, but I'm not gonna take this. And before we call can we pray? That must be so weird.
That's crazy.
We're like, and school's almost about to start.
Yeah.
Because it was before school started, and so he was an Italian teacher, and so he prayed with me. Like he closed his eyes, and I was a senior, and I prayed real quick, and we called, and we said no, because he was like, but you're gonna say no.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I will say no.
He's like, I'll do the small talk.
Yeah. And so I think at that moment I would not have described it as authority. I would have described it as faith. And I think sometimes we confuse that, how you need to have authority in order to be able to step into faith. But I do remember that that was a season in my life where I was going to pray at 5 a.m. I was very heavily involved in a lot of church events. It was a life very much created with God in all of my departments. And so I can see that principle is, because if you tell me like right now in this scenario, I don't know that I would make the same decision based on that moment. But I was so locked in for what I wanted, and I was with God in that moment, which actually takes me to something that I now believe in so strongly, that God will give you anything you want, absolutely anything. And I'm convinced, again, like I said, that there isn't a right answer as to whether BU was supposed to happen or not. But I know that God knew how bad I wanted it. But in order for God to give you what you want, you have to put it inside of, I would say maybe a compass, and the phrases that are part of that compass that will actually get you what you want or not is to understand that God doesn't want something for you, and God doesn't want something from you. God wants something with you. And anything that you may be praying for that you don't get could be that is gonna interrupt the witness with God. But at the same time, if you want anything, but it doesn't interrupt your witness with God, I am convinced that you would get anything. That's where I feel that maybe we don't ask with more boldness, because we haven't understood that. We think that, oh, God wants something from you, or God wants something from me. It's like, no, God wants to give you everything you want, as long as let's do it together is what he wants. Let's go to BU together. Let's make this marriage happen together. That's probably why there's a lot of divorce. Like, you're not doing this with God. And not in a way that you don't love the person, but it's like, what if you're more with your wife than you are with God? And then that gets into the relationship. It's not about me being with God more than with you, but it's like, let's go spend time, you and I, with God. And our marriage is gonna be an unstoppable force because we're doing it with God. And so I think, to answer your question of whether I had it or I've always had it, I think the same way, like our muscles, if you go to the gym often, you're gonna look a certain way, and then you stop, it's gonna get weaker. That's how your authority works. You're gonna have stronger authority if you practice being with God, and it's gonna weaken if you, and it's, I don't know. It just sounds so churchy and religious, but I don't think we understand that being with God brings out the most compelling, the most amazing expression of us, and we also want that. We don't even know that there's a better, we can't even see the version of us or imagine it in a way that God knows that it's there. But okay, that was a lot.
Thank you. No, that was great. I mean, it's very insightful, especially for a person who doesn't feel like they've had much authority, or at least to the degree that those stories are Always get me still. Like, I've heard that story multiple times, but I'm still like, bro, how did you sit here and tell him, nah, I'm good? Because that was a D1 offer too, right?
No, the other one was a D3 offer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But still, even like full ride and stuff like that, I'd take that in. Oh my
when
God.
I was thinking about the story today, when I was thinking about the story today, it was like, how you could judge it as how arrogant are you that your parents left their country, risked all their life.
That's so true.
And you're being given 4 full years of college.
Yep.
And because you want something else.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm so convinced that God will do what I want as long as I'm with him.
That's so crazy. I have a question for that, but that will be for off camera. And
Off camera, okay.
But remind me.
Or next episode.
Or no, next episode. We'll see.
Next episode. But you know what's actually funny also? I don't know, funny. It's the same coach that was Steven's coach. He's like, no, he was different. Yeah, he was in a different season of his life.
Yeah, there you go.
It was Lorenzo Di Benedetto.
Iconic
name, yeah, iconic name.
Yeah.
I remember that in that conversation, he actually said, like, no, I can't have that. I'm more like Thomas in the Bible. Like, I need to touch the wound. And I was like, man, you're preaching.
Yeah. He knew his word.
Anyways, you can ask after the podcast or next podcast. But
absolutely.
We gotta close because we gotta go
It's
eat.
time.
I'm hungry. Any final thoughts on this conversation, takeaways, or?
No, I think the greatest takeaway, I think that the call to action is, if you want to build your authority, is spend some time with God, even if it's a minute a day.
Even
Get
if
it
it's
done.
a minute a day.
365 minutes in a year.
Better than
0. So.
Yeah. And that's the only way. Like, I think there was a podcast where you said, I can only speak of how it has affected my life.
Exactly.
I can give you all the stories. And you can say that they're not true, or you can get excited by them.
Yep.
But until you actually do it, and that's part of the character development. All right, Mel, it's always a pleasure sitting in front of you and listening to your stories and you listening to mine. Thank you for doing this with me. Thank you, Steven, for blessing us with with your help. And we'll see you guys next episode. I love you.
I love you too.
Oh, I wasn't gonna dap you. I got so used to the dapping.
No, but I'm here for it.